Hello everyone, this is Yulianna Avdeeva here. It's Thursday, 7:30 p.m., so welcome to our weekly stream. It was actually quite exciting weather these days in Munich. It was snowing, which I liked very, very much because for me snow reminds me, of course, on my childhood. It reminds me on the holiday season, on a great joy and just real winter weather. And during my walk, I was walking around a little bit, and during that I have made a wonderful encounter with a snowman, which I shared with you yesterday. So that was actually very nice actually to meet him, but it was a little bit difficult to invite him here to my home place. But he reminded me, he or she, I don't know, he reminded me on someone who lives in my house since many years, and there he is. Look, this is my home snowman. Yes, it's actually a gift from a great friend of mine, Kumiko, in Japan. I received this present from her, but it's not just a snowman. It is a snowman matryoshka, so it means that there are many more of them inside, which makes it actually even cuter than it already is. So this is our snowman. There are several more inside. Right, so these are some more snowmans which are surrounding us tonight. How are you doing? Hi Topol, hi to Japan, hello Gordy, hi Maria and Annalise, Alexis, hello, great to see you. How are you doing? Have you had any interesting, also inspiring encounters this week maybe? Well, to be honest, also about talking about snow, for some years ago I have read a wonderful interview of Claudio Abbado where he was talking about that he loved snow, and he also said that what he particularly likes on the snow is the sound of the snow. And the question was whether it's the sound, the noise when you step with your foot on the snow. And he said, no, I like the sound of falling snow, which is actually just slight touch of sound. And this also exists in music, this kind of very soft touch of sound that you don't even hear it, but you know that it's there. So he was suggesting to listen to the sound of snow even on your balcony, just to observe it. So I think it's for me it's such a wonderful, inspiring comment that I really very often think about it. So it's great to see you all. Yeah, but if you will hear some snow sound, please share it with me, because it's something very special, because you have to be very sensitive to hear it. So now coming to the point of our discussion tonight. Tonight we are talking about the C sharp major Prelude and Fugue from Book 2, Well-Tempered Clavier by Bach, and we discuss the musical associations coming in our minds, connected with especially with the spirit of the Prelude. Oh, we have such an international audience here. So hello to Argentina, and hello Yulianna to Miami and Switzerland. That's all lovely. Sabina, absolutely. The C sharp major is a very rare key. Actually, it's so many black keys in this tonality. So we have 7 sharps. We have 7 sharps here, and I was asking also for your associations with connected in the spirit with this prelude, because I think it is very special. So thanks a lot for sharing your thoughts about them, and they were very different, which I actually very much admired. So I would just want I want to just to play the beginning of this prelude so that that you know what kind of spirit it is in this very very special piece. So this is the basic mood of this prelude, and there were indeed amazing associations which you had. For instance, Hazel was saying that it reminds this spirit and this texture of this prelude reminds you of the raindrop prelude, which is actually also the same key. Well, it's D flat major, and it also has indeed this this element. By Bach, it's a little bit. The keys are changing, but still the idea somehow is indeed very, very similar. But don't you find that the C sharp major sounds completely different comparing to D flat? Do you think that? Please tell me what you think. Do you think that it's just because we know that it's a different key that we feel it in a different way, or it sounds C sharp for me sounds sharper? What about you? Tell me, please. How do you feel this? Marek, yes, why not D flat? That's the point we will be coming a little bit later when we will be talking about the Prelude and Fugue. The other, by the way, Marek, yes, I remember that you were also saying that this Prelude reminds you of this beautiful place from the third ballad, which I absolutely share with you. That's indeed, it has something something very special about it, and also the D major prelude, right, that also has something. Alexis was saying that he felt that this is the texture and the spirit reminds on Mozart, which I absolutely share, because if we have a look, for instance, on the on the second movement of the Genome E flat major piano concerto, we have actually also very similar type of writing. So we have you see those kind of ostinato movement and some motives. That's how. Well, I played a little bit. I'm sorry, I have here some music problem. Oh, too many. You know, it happens when you have so many scores on the piano. It just doesn't want to. Oh, that's. Now I have a usage for the smaller snowman. So we have. So it's still same way. Still same type of writing, but orchestral, which also I think can be applicable to this prelude on the piano. So I was wondering. Sabina is saying I think that might be true, that we think indeed that because we know it's sharps, it does sound sharper, yeah, or brighter, but still somehow I think for me D flat sounds also indeed more round in a way, but well, it's well. Francisco is also doubt. Well, it's difficult to say, but once maybe you will hear a piece where you will just feel that it's C sharp major or D flat major. So just try to feel how, if you feel really the difference. It can happen if you, for instance, you do not know the piece, so you have to guess whether it is C sharp major or D flat. Yes, even in Rachmaninoff, as Marek was suggesting, you have also some kind of texture like this, but my personal association was actually Brahms, because once I have looked to the C sharp major prelude, it felt for me like, I don't know, also in the piano texture itself, but also in the musical spirit, it feels for me very much. It looks like Brahms, and it feels a little bit like Brahms to me. Jomar, yes, absolutely right that Chopin was connected to Bach, and absolutely the score of Well-Tempered Clavier was the score which Chopin also took to his trip to Mallorca. So that was a kind of very important piece of work for him, to have this score of Well-Tempered Clavier with him. So the Brahms, when I'm saying that Brahms reminds me very much of this, I can show you some, for instance, even the examples from the first piano concerto. It's very often that he writes a kind of, look, for instance, if we take, you maybe some of you might remember when we talked about Brahms. Brahms basically, of course, as he was such a great, he was so fascinated also by choir music. So he also indeed very much uses the choral idea in his music, also in the piano music. So even in the first piano concerto, it happens very, very often, even like right. So we have this chorale, and then he transfers it. So this is basically what I mean with this texture. So it is the idea of broken chords, and this idea of broken chords is very in the first book of Well-Tempered Clavier we had it very often. In the second book it happens very, very, actually this C sharp major is the only one where Bach uses it. But coming back to Brahms again, this is indeed a very common element which he uses very often. For instance, in the Opus 116 we have the Capriccio in G minor, which is sounds like this. How it's written, it is actually, you have this polyphonic style here. We have it over here. Actually, it is just, just this broken chords again, and here, just the upper voice which has this melody. Also, in places like here, it is the same principle, that it is just. So it's like, I think for me, it's a very good example of his thinking. Another piece, but of course it is maybe more spirit in the question of spirit, which came to my mind as I was working on the C sharp major prelude, was the Intermezzo, also from Opus 116 in E major, which is it's a wonderful, because for me, the mood of of this type of music, it is very, in a way, it is very quiet joy. So you know that it's very, it has so much light, and maybe it can also be somehow connected in a mood with the Annunciation. That's what I mean with quiet joy. That's not the joy which you are, you know, you're exploring and sharing with the important, very dear for you, which you keep in your mind. So the intermezzo is actually a chorale, and I really love this piece. So that's why I would like to play it for you now. Intermezzo in E major, opus 116 by Johannes Brahms. So this is also the description of Brahms himself. Here is Andantino teneramente, and apparently originally Andantino grazioso. So this is actually absolutely right. There is a C sharp major bar here in this intermezzo, which is again corresponding with the prelude and fugue. So I think that was actually Anneliese who was saying that the C sharp major prelude was reminding her on the C major prelude from book 1 of Well-Tempered Clavier, and this is absolutely correct, because also the C sharp major prelude was originally composed in C major. So, and that was what I was saying that first in the Bach score he actually composed again as similar as to the prelude in C major from the first book. He just composed the chords, so that it was like this. So you remember, and he was suggesting to make an arpeggiato out of them. So finally he revised it and composed a completely different, well, first he transposed it into the C sharp major, and then also it was not that easy kind of broken chords as we had in the C major, but it is a real orchestral, actually could be an orchestral score, because we have two voices or two parts in the right hand, so it's so this is this motive coming up for the first violin, for instance, then this motive always moving down, then we have the viola, this ostinato or raindrop, pulse. Anyway, this is something which gives this constant pulse, and the bass, cello or bass. So it is not such an easy way of broken chord as in the C major prelude from book 1, but is a real orchestral or quartet, anyway, instrumental piece. And the upper voice, although actually for me, to be honest, that was not easy to find different intonation also for these two motives. So I also play it with both hands just in order to hear the sound, to hear the difference in the intonation of this. This upper voice, which is always heading somehow, you know, the sky, heading up. And another which, the second violin, which supports, but it's not easy to play it in one hand because that's not how it's written. That's the difference also to the C major prelude. There are also some beautiful moments of modulations also going to the minor, which indeed also somehow corresponding to, for me personally, with the Brahms. And what is also very special about this prelude, I think also Marek was asking about this, because actually this prelude is divided in two parts. So the first is this particular prelude, and the second, after 24 bars of broken chords, is a kind of fuguetta. Well, fuguetta is a smaller fugue with also less strict counterpoint. So in bar 25 we have a sudden change of character, because after this this beautiful line we have allegro, which is allegro is a real Bach not what's it, how do you say, remark. So this is actually indeed a great contrast to the prelude. It is in a way it is a passe-pied. Passe-pied is a French chord dance in three measures. So it's not very fast, but it's in a way it's very also elegant. So this is how it. So we have the fuguetta in three parts. Now about the fugue. So the fugue is indeed also, I think actually this transition to the fugue happens indeed in this fuguetta already, because in the character the fugue is absolutely amazing, because actually the subject of it is quite simple. So it's But basically, after a while, the second half of the subject, so this 16, they disappear, or let's say they are being used for the interlude, so it's not, it loses this form, so the subject remains actually only this fanfare. So, and in the beginning, in the first entrance of every voice, in the exposition, or every part, in the exposition, we have already a strata. So the bass starts, and already in the middle of the subject, in the bass, the soprano comes and immediately in inversion. So we have this mezzo. So it is absolutely amazing how, again, how creative Bach in this kind of. It sounds in the beginning like a, like a actually contrapuntal exercise. But what he does out of it, it is absolutely amazing, because in this fugue we have stretti, we have diminished and augmented subjects, and in the end it becomes more like a great improvisation, because we have also elements also with the 30-second, now with the small values, for instance here. It's wonderful in the bar 25 when this augmented subject comes. So it becomes the mood of it. It gets so incredibly it's a kind of triumph which I somehow feel here. And in the end, it is indeed an improvisation, because we have so many 30-second notes over there. Then this is absolutely amazing. So yeah, that's the fugue was actually also originally composed in C major, and also was much shorter in the form. So probably it was answering the question why by Bach we have this C sharp major. The answer would be probably that for him it was easy to put the 7 sharps rather than to write it in D flat. But this is indeed a absolutely unique set, I think, because it's well, the original drafts of both of Preludes and Fugues are quite old, and just to see how Bach developed himself, how he was searching for new ways of expression is absolutely wonderful. So please enjoy the C sharp major rare tonality Prelude and Fugue from Book 2 by Johann Sebastian Bach. sharp major Prelude and Fugue from Book 2 by Johann Sebastian Bach. Yes, this is somehow a very, for me, it feels like a very, very special set. Yeah, because somehow, in a way, now I also realizing that the change between which Bach, the transformation of Bach himself in these years between the book 1 and book 2 is absolutely amazing, which is again proof that his genius, he was never, I don't want to say he was never satisfied, but he was always going forward, always moving, always trying to develop, never stop. This is a really absolutely never-ending process, which is absolutely amazing to observe also in these pieces. Thank you so much for your warm comments. I'm very, very happy that you liked it, and it is indeed a very special pair. Yes, so tonight it was a great pleasure for me to discuss with you the wonderful C-sharp major Prelude and Fugue from book 2, and I wish you all a very, very good week with some nice, inspiring experiences, and yes, we see each other next week again, as usual, 7:30 p.m. Central European Time. Thanks a lot for joining. So please subscribe my YouTube channel, and we see each other next week. Thank you so much. Have a good week. See you. Bye-bye.